Good morning. Welcome to your Thursday morning, early morning intuitive guidance. I am wearing my snowflake shirt in honor of the mess we have out there. My app said 7.4 inches, but I think that's wrong. It looks like about 4 inches to me, but it's wet and it's heavy, and TJ again did his hothouse flower thing and wandered out there and did his business and wandered back in. That was enough. So, good morning, Carolyn. Welcome. Glad you're here. So those of you who are up to your eyeballs in snow, please take it easy, and maybe it's a good day to stay home. And someone actually blew out our snow on the front sidewalk, which was wonderful. So the kids won't have to break their necks trying to get to school across the street. Good morning, Gwen. Welcome. It looks like, there's Cindy. Hello. Glad you are here. Somehow I guess you probably don't have a whole lot of snow right now, but who knows? So anyway, on this snowy Thursday, we have a card from the Higher Intuitions deck by Christy Robinette and Jonna Gibson Bowman. And we'll see how it chimes for you. We'll see what resonates. So if you want to take a couple of nice deep breaths, yep, just rain by you. We've got quite a bit of snow, and it's wet and heavy. I'm sure further north it's that fluffy, crystally pretty stuff, but that's not a Wisconsin thing. So all of my plans for today are changing, and I'll probably be dealing with snow. Good morning, Joe. Welcome. I'm thinking you probably got some snow last night, too. So Higher Intuition stack, and our card is Elephant. And it's go the extra mile. So I'm going to move her closer so you can check her out. So let's just see what chimes for you with this one. And some of it is not exactly what we'd predict for a card with an elephant, but let's see what it says. Keywords are nurturer, productive, communicate, telepathy, and listen. The quote is by Leo Roston. The purpose of life is not to be happy, but to matter, to be productive, to be useful, to have it make some difference that you have lived at all. So, Elephant reminds you that when you feel like quitting, it just means that you have some extra steps to take. And in my mind, that doesn't mean pushing through and making things happen. It may mean, okay, I'm going to back off and rest for a bit, and then I'll try again. Many times people set goals and stop in the middle of them frustrated, but Elephant motivates you to keep going. Again, as long as you're continuing to do something to move forward, to be even considering this. Looks like someone just snuck past me. Good morning. Glad you're here, whoever you are. Can't quite see it because it rolled past too fast. But I'm glad everybody's here. That when we take the time to just be, that can fill our tanks back up. Remember, we were talking about that, so that we can take a next step forward. And it doesn't have to be leaps and bounds. We vastly overvalue the leap and bound approach to moving through life. It can be one toe length forward. Good enough. Elephant motivates you to keep going. It could be an exercise program, a new skill that you want to try, or a friend that you have been meaning to call. Elephant teaches us that being gentle, having commitment, and clear communication can help in your relationships. Well, obviously, we've been working on that in the other book that today we're taking a break from, but when it's time for us to hit that again, we certainly will. On the outside, Elephant looks like an intimidating creature, but she is actually a nurturer, wanting everybody to succeed and feel protected. Elephant is also very telepathic, and with a sixth sense, can feel the energy around her, with friends, family, and even strangers. She senses danger and responds accordingly. Elephant reminds you where you are needed and how to get a good feel for it. The words may not be spoken. Although elephants are large and heavy, they walk noiselessly and with much grace. Elephant gives you subtle hints that you are needed. Listen to the warning signals with all of your senses. The purpose of life is to matter. I love this, yes. And matter in a sense, how do I want to say this? it isn't so much about we have to leave a legacy, blah, blah, blah. It's more about, did I make someone else's life easier today? And that doesn't even have to be by doing. Good morning, Mara. Welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. It may be by smiling at somebody. It might be letting someone go ahead of you in the checkout line if they only have a few things. Good morning, Beth. It might be holding a door for somebody, letting somebody into traffic. Those little bitty things that to you are kind of negligible, but to them may be a huge thing in their day. A huge thing in their day. If their day is going pretty crappy and someone does something nice for them, holds a door, smiles at them, etc., it can make the whole day turn around. Yes, absolutely be kind. Yes, the Great White North. Here also. And here it's very wet, dense, and heavy. So here's one. Someone blew out our sidewalk. That act, it probably took them 2 swipes and they were done. To us, that was tremendous because right now the snowblower's over at the other building and it's going to be one of those, let's haul equipment around and make stuff happen and all that. So that was just a huge thing. Yes, just do little things for people that you meet along the way. It can be a dumb little thing, ask somebody, you're standing in the checkout line, you're looking at the candy bars. What's your favorite candy bar? And they tell you it's a Snickers. You buy them a Snickers. No big hairy deal to you, but it makes their day. And the likelihood that they are then going to go on to gift somebody else to do something nice is huge. Huge. So, with this, I'm feeling a pull here. Got this great little article. I'll see if I can remember to post the link to this article in the feed. It's from 2013. Take a risk. The odds are better than you think. Take charge of your life, be responsible for it, and choose to take action. The biggest risk is not taking one. And so in the article, she's talking about why we tend to be risk averse. We overestimate the probability that something is going to go wrong. We exaggerate the consequences of what might happen if it does go wrong. We underestimate our ability to handle the consequences of risk. We discount or deny the cost of inaction and stick with the status quo. And that's actually one of my class finished yesterday, and one of the biggest things that I gleaned from that class, yes, I'll try to remember to put the link in the feed. One of the biggest things I gleaned from that class is how much our inaction, our refusal to acknowledge reality, sets us up in so many ways. So obviously the class was on setting up an intentional community for seniors. And one of the biggest things we talked about was how people don't assess their risks. They just plow blithely along with life, not looking at, okay. And so he asks us questions like, what could you do 10 years ago that you can't do now? What might you not be able to do 10 years hence that you can do now? Begin looking at that stuff. People living in big old houses with lots of stairs as they get older. Not a good fit for most people, not a good fit. And with the chronic loneliness stuff that everybody deals with, not a good fit. To take a look at those things, to really take a look. And again, for some people, it will feel like a big risk to make a change or to look at their life and go, yeah, that isn't going to work long term and that isn't going to work long term. But the people who are willing to take those risks, which usually end up not being risky at all, or minimally risky, are much happier in the long run than the people who go la 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 la. So yes. So one of the things that she says at the end of this article, and I will remember to post it, she said, I wrote about this, meaning that we discount or deny the cost of inaction, in a previous column titled, The Parmenides fallacy. Are you ignoring the cost of inaction? We tell ourselves it's not so bad, and we delude ourselves with the hope that our circumstances will somehow just get better over time and things will just sort themselves out. We come up with excuses for why sticking with the status quo is a feasible option, why playing safe and not putting ourselves at risk of failing or looking foolish is sensible. And she says, some argue that it's not so much the glass ceiling that causes us problems as the sticky floor. We're stuck to the sticky floor and we don't rise up. I love that. Love that, love that. So I'll remember to post that. So today, what I'd like you to do is take a look at some of those things that you view as risky. And it might be with regard to going the extra mile. Really take a look at, is this really truly a risk? Or is it just my conditioned self doing the sky is falling, it's going to be dangerous, you're going to fail, everyone's going to die, all that chatter that it does to try to keep us stuck in our comfort zone. Good morning, Diane. Poor Diane cracked her windshield on the way to work today. That was interesting, strange. So I would like you to really be willing to take a look at what are the risks, really, truly, what are the risks? Not over-exaggerating them, but trying to see them as clearly as possible, and then taking a look at, and what are the consequences of those risks, even if they happen. So I have a friend right now that I've been nudging to buy her first house ever. She's about to turn 50, and this little house came up for sale, and I'm trying to encourage her to buy it. And of course, the money thing is what's scaring the heck out of her. And I'm like, you almost spent more on your vehicle than you would on this house. Take a risk. Try it. The lot will be worth that. We over-exaggerate the potential costs. So let's all work on this. This is a great opportunity for us to work on this. Good morning, Christina. Welcome, welcome. Glad you are here. We're just about done, but today we are going the extra mile, and it can be going the extra mile for ourselves. Do I value myself enough to take these extra few steps? And we can do it with kindness and lovingness. We're not going to push ourselves, crack that whip, go further, do more, blah. It's more like, I am worth taking these extra few steps. I am worth taking these risks. I am worth living that full life rather than the stuck in my comfort zone, not going to move off of plum place. All right. So I will post the article in the feed as soon as I jump back on and get all that stuff taken care of. Have an awesome day. If you're clearing 8,000 feet of snow like we will be, take it easy. This is for those of you in the Wisconsin range. It's wet, heavy stuff. Don't overdo it. Don't wreck yourself on the first snowstorm, okay? Be kind and loving. Do a little bit, go have a cup of tea. Do a little bit more, go read a book. Do a little bit more, take a nap. Eventually it gets done. Have an awesome day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.